Talking to Deborah Sharkey of eBay is very much like talking to Frank Lowy about shopping centres. The Lowy family have developed an enormous network of physical malls that are huge gatherings of customers. And that's exactly what eBay has done. 6 million people come to shop on eBay. It's a mall, the same as Westfield is a physical mall. How on earth the Lowy family could have allowed eBay to do electronically what they do physically is hard to imagine. But it is very, very difficult to transfer a physical business into a totally new space. It requires a whole new management philosophy. Deborah Sharkey says that the growth in electronic retailing is so big, it's about 33% a year, that there's room for new players to come in. But a warning, suppliers to retailers are being pressured not to allow their goods to go online. That's a very dangerous tactic by retailers. It'll come back to bite them. Deborah, how many retailers have you got using the eBay network in the electronic space?
There are thousands of Australian businesses, retail businesses, using eBay as a complementary sales channel. And last year, the largest 2,000 Australian businesses selling on eBay grew a phenomenal 38% year on year. 38%.
What's about their turnover, do you think?
Those largest 2,000 businesses selling on eBay turned over up to $12.5 million per annum.
Really?
And that is a stark contrast to what we see in traditional retail, which was pretty much flat for the bulk of the year.
So what sort of retailers are we talking about? Are they small retailers, big retailers? What?
Look, the reality is in the absence of investment from traditional retailers in Australia, some of the largest online retailers first got their start on eBay, the folks like Deals Direct, oo.com.au, and continue to sell on eBay today. I think it's really interesting when you compare the largest online retailers in the US, for example, and in Australia. And in the US, you see a lot of traditional bricks and clicks players, big retailers who have embraced online, like Staples, like Best Buy, like Walmart, where in Australia, we've got a highly affluent population. You've got 10 million consumers shopping online. The demand's there, but the largest online retailers are online pure plays. And a lot of those, again, first got their start on eBay. We have helped to incubate e-commerce. We've given Australian businesses an opportunity to compete with big business without expensive marketing or rent overheads. And increasingly we're seeing that traditional retailers recognize that they've gotten a little late in the game and they're partnering with us as a complementary sales channel. So manufacturers like Dell and Logitech, for example, retailers like Seller Masters or ABC Shop are using eBay as a complementary sales and marketing channel.
Can you see yourself as being the Westfield of the electronic retailing space?
Look, absolutely, our vision is to be Australia's online shopping mall. We are the widest selection of brand new products online in Australia.
So you want to be a Westfield?
Well, I'd make an important distinction. We want to be the place where Australian consumers can buy nearly everything.
But that's what the Lowies say. The Lowies say that too.
For our business partners, we want to be a cost-effective sales channel. What we're really proud is that we're a very cost-effective sales channel. When you embrace online and retailers build your own website, you have to worry, how are you going to get traffic? And with 6 million Australians visiting eBay every month, right, what we do is we help aggregate consumers, and we're very proud to be a cost-effective sales and marketing channel for our partners.
How do you think Westfield could have missed this? They should have done this, not you.
Look, it's a great question, but I got to tell you, the pie is growing very fast, and it's going to be very big. So growth is going to create fantastic opportunity across the board. I think it's a little bit passé to talk about online or offline these days. What we're seeing is that there are a proliferation of specific online experiences that consumers are expecting. For example, there's opportunity in the mobile space. 1 out of 4 Australians tell us they bought something online on their mobile phone. It lets you shop anytime, anywhere. It's blurring the line between on and offline sales as well. The best example I have of that is a partnership that PayPal are doing with Starbucks in the US. You can imagine a lot of Americans drive to work and they start their workday with a big cup of Starbucks coffee.
Yes.
Right? So PayPal power an app that lets you buy your coffee on your cell phone on your way into work, right? So that when you rock up to Starbucks, you cruise past the line, rock right up to the counter, and your coffee's waiting for you. Now, is that an online or an offline transaction?
Okay.
And mobile is an interesting one because Australians are ahead of the game. So although we don't see this in overall e-commerce, when you look at eBay's mobile stats, Australians bought more on their iPhone and iPad apps in Australia than any other global eBay market when you look at it as a percentage of total eBay sales. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
What do you think, if we go forward 3 or 4 years, or whatever is convenient, how big is this online, broadly defined area going to be? Is it going to double from where it is now? It's going to quadruple? What are we talking about?
Forrester Research say that Australians spent $27 billion online last year, and that's forecast to grow 12% year on year for the next 3 years. We think that's soft. And that's based on the figures that we see on our own site, where businesses who are investing in online grew a phenomenal 38% last year. We see this anecdotally when we speak to retail players. And I must say the Australian fashion retailers have been some of the first to recognize the opportunity. And a lot of these players will tell you that their online channel is growing in double, if not triple digits.
Okay. So that 27 billion, you could see that becoming 50 and 75 billion in quite a few short time.
Yeah, absolutely. I truly believe that given the right amount of information, consumers will buy nearly everything online.
What percentage of that market do you think you'll capture via your retail mall?
Well, we'd like to enable everyone to shop online.
But what percentage of the 27 billion do you think you might be conducted via eBay?
I think a lot of that is going to depend on what the rest of the market does. In the short term, our goal is to empower e-commerce. We do that across our portfolio of businesses. You know, eBay is a sales and marketing channel. We help bring the customers. 6 million Australians visit eBay every month, and PayPal helps power payments.
So how do you charge? If I'm a retailer and I want to market through eBay, what do I pay?
We're in the process of evolving our price models. Right now, you charge a little bit up front on a fixed cost, and the way eBay makes its money is largely a percentage of the final sale price.
Okay.
And what you can expect to see, so I've been very passionate about putting a business model in place that helps businesses embrace eBay, and I think what we've done is that's meant decreasing the upfront cost, and so that we only take a cut when the item actually sells, and we're very much moving towards that model quickly.
What sort of cut are we talking about in rough terms?
Depending on the size and the category, 8%.
One of the advantages of electronic retailing is that the labour cost is substantially reduced. Is this a major factor in Australia in its growth?
Online gives you an opportunity to experiment with cost structures. So I think it's true we're going to need to evolve to stay globally competitive. What online offers is the opportunity to, sell direct to consumers with less marketing overhead, with less rent overhead. I think you can expect to see a redistribution of labor, maybe less people in physical stores, more people in IT, more online specialists, call centers, and logistics is going to be a critical enabler.
Who delivers the material?
Yeah.
Who delivers it? How do you do it? Is the post office? Do you have your own delivery system?
Most parcels in Australia are delivered by Australia Post.
Okay.
They're one of our biggest business partners, and we're working very, very closely with them to improve the level of logistics infrastructure. From a consumer perspective, right? If you're going to buy online, you want to know your parcel's going to arrive reliably, and you want the confidence that you can track that item door to door, and that kind of tracking information can be integrated into eBay, that you can see that in real time.
Do you think in Australia you will have a bigger share of the electronic mall market, if you like, than you have in the US, in percentage terms?
I think that's going to depend on what's happening in the overall market. But remember, we're a business model that helps other businesses be successful. We're a shopping mall, and a lot of that's going to depend on, if you will, the stores within the mall. And we're very keen to partner with traditional Australian retailers and manufacturers to help them embrace online as a channel. And I think there's a risk in the retailers, the domestic retailers, not doing so quickly, in that the affluence of the market has been very much recognized offshore. And what you see is increasingly international retailers beginning to sell directly into Australia. And a lot of the international online clothing players, like ASOS, for example, citing Australia as one of their biggest international markets.
Of course, they don't pay GST either, do they?
Well, I think it's ironic that the industry is so fixated on GST when we have yet to, when the Australian retail market has yet to embrace online in any kind of meaningful way. I think that's the real issue.
This is a major retail management mistake, isn't it?
We like to call it an opportunity.
But it is a mistake not to have allowed this to happen, allowed others to get in. They protected their physical space, and they did it for too long. It's
not too late to get in the game. I want to say that, right? Retail, there's a lot of debate to try around actually what percent of retail that online contributes. You know, estimates range between 3 to 7%. But bottom line is that range is about half its contribution in the US and the UK. So it is not too late. We're still expecting tremendous growth. I think that really the impetus is on the retail industry now to invest and be willing to evolve models.
But you want them to do it, at least in part, through you, not just alone.
We're keen to help people do that for sure. I mean, we've invested for 12 years in leading edge online marketing capabilities. We are Australia's biggest online shopping destination. We want to be a one-stop shop for Australian consumers, and the truth is we invest in traffic generation in consumers so that our business partners don't have to.
Is one of the problems in electronic retailing the fact that the suppliers of goods are so frightened by the physical retailers that they won't supply electronic retailers?
Interestingly, that is a concern. We recently ran a survey of the largest 2,000 businesses operating on eBay in Australia, and we got a surprising result. Nearly 70% of businesses operating on eBay in Australia said that they'd faced challenges with their suppliers seeking to either prevent or restrict the sale of products online. So there is some very strong evidence to indicate that not only are retailers not embracing the opportunity, but the industry is actively seeking to prevent consumers from accessing sales online.
But that's a scandal. Like, that's almost illegal. You could send people to jail doing that. And that's what's happening.
That is indeed what's happening.
So the retailers are not just not participating in the net, they're stopping others by squeezing the suppliers.
Yeah, our role in the debate is to raise awareness. I think with 10 million Australians shopping online, we are putting out a call to action for consumers to let the retail industry know that this is how they want to shop.
Are you going to the ACCC on this?
Like, we have been very open with the statistics. We launched the Online Business Index recently with Parliament, and we are inviting government, the ACCC, and also the industry to help us take a serious look at restrictive trade practices.
But you haven't specifically gone to the ACCC one-on-one?
Our role is to raise awareness.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.